So the materials I'll be needing for this tutorial, here I have my Ankara fabric. I have my Ankara fabric. I have my bias, which I'll be using for the design on the half length and on the down part of the gown. I have my zipper. I have my hard net. Okay. This is my lining. I have my button. I'm not sure which one I'll be using yet. So I'll be using this leftover fabric to draft the half length for both the front and back piece of the baby gown. Okay, so first thing first, I have my half length here. This is, don't forget, this is our starting line, and the half length I'll be working with is 10.5 inches. All right, and here I'm having, down to this point here, I'm having 11.5. So the next thing I'll do, I'll measure on this fold here. I'll measure 1 inch for the zipper allowance. Okay, for the zip allowance. Don't forget, we are drafting out the back parts, all right, of this baby gown. So the next thing I'll do, the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 9 inches. 9 inches divided by 2 will give me 4.5 inch. Okay, shoulder measurement will start from this line that we marked out for the zip allowance. All right, so here is my 4.5 for the shoulder. The armhole I'm working with is 5.5 inches. You all know how I normally calculate my armhole measurement is the shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus 1 extra inch. That's how I get the armhole measurement. Okay, so I haven't connected this. I'll just use my free hand and just draw a curve here. But if you don't want to use your free hand, from this point here, you can just go in by 1.5. You see, you can just go in by 1.5 inch and just make a curve to meet these two lines. All right, so the bust measurement I'm working with is 23 inches. 23 inches divided by 4 will be giving me 5.7 inches. All right, so this is it, plus 2 extra inches sewing allowance. So from this line, this point here, I'll just draw a straight line down to the half length. Then the wideness of the neck, I'll be working with the width 2.5 inch. 2.5 inches. Okay, and then the depth, the width 2.5 inches, the depth I'll be making use of 1 inch. I'll just use my free hand and make a curve. Then on this shoulder line here, this armhole line, I just go in by 1/2 inch. Just use my ruler and make a straight line. And this is all for the back, for the drafting of the back part of the gown. All right, so the next thing I'll do, I'll just cut this out. And I'll be opening up this part here. So to draft this the front part, I'm folding the remaining fabric into two. Okay, then I'll take this or one part of this back piece. Okay, I'll place it like so. So what I'm doing is I'm minusing the 1 inch for the zipper allowance at the back. Okay, I'm minusing it. So I'll place like so. Then the next thing I'll do, I'll cut this out. So the depth for the front neckline, I'll be making use of 2.5 inches. Okay, so from that point there, I just make a curve, just make my curve for the neckline, and I'll also be cutting that out. All right, so here I have the front and back half length of the gown. Okay, so the next thing I'll do, I'll be cutting out my lining. So this is the lining for the front parts and the lining for the back also. So guys, this is the lower part for the gown. So the full length I'm working with for this gown is 33 inches, and remember for the half length it's 10.5 inch. Okay, so what's left is 22.5 inches. All right, so can you see this? From here, this point is 22.5 inches. Then I added extra 1.5 inch. Okay, 1.5 inch for sewing allowance to hem the down part and also attach it to the upper part of the gown. All right, so I'm having 2 yards here for the width. Okay, and then my length altogether is 24 inches. Then for my hard nets, for the hard net, I bought half a yard, and I divided it into two. It's the length is 11 inches. All right, 11 inches, and I'm having two part of it here. Okay, so I'll just be joining them. Then for the lining also, it's 13.5 inches. Okay, in length. You know, it's going to be longer than the hard net to cover the hard net. All right, so guys, for the sleeve, I'm having two pieces here. It's 5.1 inches long, and then I also have something very straight, the width 22.5 inches and the length 9 inches. Okay, so basically what I'll be doing is I'll open this sleeve up. Okay, then I'll be gathering this other part of the material on the sleeve to have that puffy look, because I don't want to make use of elastic band on the sleeve. So for the side rope, I'm just folding this fabric into two, length 25 inches. Okay, then over here I'm having a 3.5 inches. Then I'm just making a V, like a V shape, then connecting it down to the other part, which is 2 inches. Then I'll be cutting that out and cutting another pieces, all right, of it. So I'm having two of it. So the next thing I'll be doing, this is the front part of the fabric. I'll be notching out the midpoint here and the midpoint too here. So I'll open this up like so. So this is the midpoint. This is the front part of the gown. So I'll measure 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay. So I'll go over to my machine. I'll take this to my machine, place this bias on this 1/2 inch, or sew down. I'll place it on the other side, okay, on that 1/2 inch line. I'll sew down. Then I'll measure the same 1/2 inch from here. Okay. I'll put this here again. I'll sew down, all right. Do the same thing. Until it's complete 3 here and 3 on this side. From this midpoint, I'll give 1/2 inch also. Then 2 inches interval for my button, okay. So this is what this looks like. Okay, this is the back part. So I'll go over to my machine, sew the lining on the fabric for both the front and back parts. Then I'll also sew the side rope too. So guys, what I'm doing, I'm cutting out the excess. Okay, I'm still on the wrong side of the material. Then I'm notching, cutting out the excess fabric. Then I'm turning it over to the right side. Can you see this? Then I'm doing the same thing also for the back. I'm turning it over to the right side after notching. Then I'll be joining the two back parts together, okay, and I'll just be sewing a loose stitch for the zipper. So guys, as you can see, I've secured the armhole and also this part, okay. So I'll just be trimming this excess out. And also for the back part too, I've secured the armhole and the lower part, and I also went in to secure the zipper allowance, all right. And the reason why I secured the zipper allowance is to enable me shape this half length, okay. So the next thing we'll be doing, I'll place this like so, place this also like so, the right sides facing each other, okay. Then I'll take this to my machine. I'll sew the shoulder, the two shoulder, okay. Then after doing that, I'll be shaping this half length, all right, to the round bust, okay. I'll be shaping this half length, and while shaping, this is the side belt, this is the side rope belt. I've sewn this also, so I'll be turning it over to the right side. So while shaping, I'll fix one at this side, okay, to be in like so. I'll fix one at this side, and this other one will be at this side also, okay. So guys, this is what it looks like after fixing the bow, belt, or you can call it a side belt, anyone. All right, so the next thing I'll do, I'll measure what I have on this waistline from here. I'll measure what I have on the waistline. So altogether I'm having 27.5 inches. So from this 27.5 inches, that is what we'll be using. That's what we'll be using to gather the lower part of the gown. So guys, before gathering the lower part of the gown, okay, I hemmed the down part, then went in by 2 inches before sewing my bias to it. Okay, and here I have, it's already gathered, and I have the 27.5 inches for the waistline. The hard net is gathered also, and the lining. All right, so the next thing I'll do is I'll bring the half length of the gown. Okay, then the material also, right side facing right side. Okay, I'll go over to my machine, all right, and sew this on the half length. I hope you're following. So after sewing this material, I'll bring my hard net also. This hard net is 25. I gathered it 25.5 inches, and the reason why it's gathered 25.5 inches and not the 27.5 inches for the half length is because I don't want the hard net to be on the zipper allowance where I'll be sewing the zip. Okay, so after sewing this material on it first, I'll bring my half length, I'll bring my hard net, I'll measure up 1 inch for the zipper allowance. Then this hard net will start from the 1 inch. Okay, and the same thing down to this other end. All right, then after sewing, attaching the material and the hard net to the gown, to the half length, that is when finally I'll be joining my lining. So the lining will be the last thing I'll be attaching. So guys, this is what my gown is looking like. I'm loving it already. So can you see I fixed the hard net and I used the lining to turn this over. So the next thing we'll be doing is to fix the zip. So my zip will be stopping at about let's say 15 inches. Okay, so I'll go over to my machine, sew 1 inch down to the hem of this gown, then I'll also be fixing my zip. So guys, this is the final look of the gown. Can you see how beautiful it looks? This is the zip, the side rope. Okay, this is the back part of the gown. I've also fixed the puff sleeve. Okay, so guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you all for watching. Remain blessed. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my video, and also share my video. See you in my next video. Bye.